Hey, everybody. Let me get this adjusted. Hi. How is everyone? I am, some people use the green screen to do their lives and their Zooms and everything. I actually don't know if it's available through YouTube webcam live, but Zooms, everybody's using these beautiful backgrounds and everything. Just ignore all this, okay? You can't even see my garden because it's too bright. I mean, I can see it if I look around, but I don't even, the computer's taking the reading off my face. So anyway, welcome everyone. Claudia and Eric at Double Dog. Haffy, thank you for being here. Haffy's our moderator today. He's going to keep everybody in line. Deborah, fantastic, is here. And Claudia, remind us where, Indiana. Yeah, that's got to be hot up there. It's so hot here. I had the door open for the cats from like about 6 to 9 this morning. And I just said, they were just hanging out in the garage. They didn't even want to go out. It's so hot. So I left them inside the rest of the day because it's even hotter. Is that the reading from your forehead? I don't know. I don't know what that means. You're talking to someone else. Sorry about that. Greetings, Connie from Los Angeles. Debbie's here. I was just thinking about you, Debbie, and I'm hoping things are going okay. Denise is here. Yay. Kristen is here from Pittsburgh. Thank you so much. Urban White Buffalo Farm. Are you in Buffalo, or are you growing buffalo? And you're an urban channel, so anyway, Rose is here. Oh, I bet it's so hot. How hot is it in Fort Worth? Sharon is here. Finally made a live stream. Jamela is here. That's good. Glad to hear it. Monica is here. Minneapolis. Aha. What was I just hearing about Minneapolis? Oh, well, it was about the state. Somebody running for governor, I think. Let's see. 102. Woo! In Fort Worth. That's hot. Wow. And Patricia is here from Kentucky. Okay, I just want to welcome everybody to my channel. We only have 41 people so far. I'm sure more will join us. I want to welcome everyone to my channel. If you've just joined for the very first time, I used to be an urban gardener, and now I am gardening in the country with a lot of space. But it wasn't farmland. It was a house on a hill, basically, kind of a little hill. And so it had to be developed into an edible place to grow food. So that's what I've been working so hard on. And that's why I'm so late in the game getting things planted. At any rate, I wanted to start out with some shout outs. Jennifer's here from West Central Georgia. Maddie is here from Iceland. Krista's suburban prepsteading. I forget where you are. Verge from Iowa, and Regina. Regina, I'm glad you're here. I want to start with you. I want to give Regina McGrath a huge shout out. She has just stopped her life where she lived to go and care for her mother in Mississippi, I believe. Was it Mississippi? I think so. And she loves this channel, and she sent me something so amazing. And here's a lovely card with a horse on it. Thinking of you, just to be thought of, by somebody that you've never met is really wonderful. Dear Kaye, your YouTube channel is my bright spot. Awesome. Normally she's living in Palm Desert. It must be incredibly hot in Palm Desert. Yes, Mississippi, taking care of her elderly mother who had a stroke. We want to give We want to give big shout outs always. God bless our caregivers. And Debbie Archibald is here. She's also one. And we've talked about Debbie before. Let's see. I'm not going to read all of that, Regina. Let's see. Give a hello to Daryl. Oh, Daryl. Everybody loves you, Daryl. So I've got her contact information. I've been meaning to text you. It didn't happen, but I want to show you what she sent me. Now, I don't know if you know I love birds. I love hummingbirds. And she sent me this painting. Now, I love art. You wouldn't know it from this messy office, but I do love art. And this is an encaustic, ENCAUSTIC painting, which is, and I happen to know because I already had an encaustic painting. Regina, you may not have known that. And artists use pigments, dry pigments. You mix it in with the wax that is melted, and you paint with that, and then it dries. So it has this, I don't know if you can see the surface, but it has a kind of a interesting kind of bumpy surface. And it's a hummingbird with flowers, and I absolutely love it. Thank you. And she also sent me a coaster, hummingbird theme, and I really appreciate that. Thank you, Regina. You're very thoughtful, and I'm glad you appreciate this channel. I work very hard for very little money to try to inspire people to grow their own food. And I'm hoping that at some point I am going to join the ranks of Scott and Doug and STACY and all of those people that have really amazing channels with lots and lots of subscribers, so that I can afford to do a lot more things on this homestead. And you can help me if you can't afford to contribute financially. You can certainly help me by sharing this channel and bringing in your friend. If you have any groups on social media, or if you're in a book group or in a garden group or whatever, please share this channel. Okay, so let's see. Tess is here from New Jersey, and yes, it has a dimensional surface. It's a much better way to say it. Good frequency. Thank you so much for your great comments recently. The cobbler. So I was going to make another one. That picture is from my first peach cobbler from my own peaches, which I've never had a peach tree. It was very, very exciting. And I threw it together. I didn't use a recipe. And it wound up being a little bit too much of the dough. And so what I did when I served it to Justin, who said it was the best best cobbler he's ever eaten. Hold on one second. Wow. I sliced up another 2 peaches with a little sugar and got a little bit of a syrup going, and then just poured that over the top. So it was awesome. So now I have, you saw the few peaches in that one tree, and someone said in a comment, take them off. I did. So I did that today. I have 5 more peaches. I think I have 4 in here, 4 or 5 in here, and then I have 5 more. So I'm debating on whether to make a multi-fruit cobbler, because I harvested about a cup of blackberries and about a half a cup of blueberries. And rather than use all of my cherries, rather than use all of my peaches, I'd really rather like to eat 1 more peach, just like that. I've only had 1 like that. And now I want to, back on the shout out train, I want to go back and shout out to Mary. I think I might have already shouted out to Mary. Mary is our wonderful friend at Mary's Nest. She has a delightful channel, and she has lots and lots of people who are crazy about her, obviously, because she's so sweet. And she sent me because she wanted 2 mugs and I didn't have any more mugs, I initiated an order of 6 mugs from the potter who makes the late bloomer homestead and gardener mugs from scratch by hand, one at a time, and glazes them and fires them. They're not made by machine in any way. They're made by hand. And she sent me money for 2 mugs. Therefore, I can't let Mary down. So I initiated, my potter doesn't have her own kiln. And so I initiated a new order. So 4 more lucky people are going to be able to get one of these mugs if you so choose. It's a $40 donation. You can either do it through PayPal, but you must remember at checkout to send to a friend. Or you can mail me a check at my name at Post Office Box 2358, Lebanon, Lebanon, Tennessee 37088. And I'll be sure and get that information to the potter, and the mugs will be coming direct to you from her. So I hope 4 more of you can join the club, the rare club of those who actually own one of these late bloomer mugs. They're substantial, they hold a lot, and they're beautiful color, which is late bloomer red. So she writes, let's see. I am so happy for you that you're on this wonderful homestead journey. You are such a joy to watch. So glad to know you. Love and God bless. And God bless you, Mary. Mary just lost her dog of 14 years, her beloved dog of 14 years. I noticed that on the community page post that she posted. So want to send lots of love to Mary. Now, I'm not done with the shout outs, but I want to quickly, while I'm thinking of it, everyone, I know I mentioned this I hope you've seen my yesterday's video. If you haven't, please take the time to watch that and give it a like. And go over and show some love over at OAG, Old Alabama Gardener. You know, he works so hard to teach. His is a teaching channel. He teaches about everything about gardening. And so he has had some health issues with his heart. And I actually sent him an email during the last live stream because someone mentioned it. And I wrote him, and as soon as I signed off from the live stream, there was a response from him. So please show him some love. We love hardworking people who are trying to, especially our seniors who are trying to share their knowledge. So please go over and show him some love. And I wanted to give a huge shout out to Michelle S., who bought a t-shirt very recently. I didn't even know about it until I just went to check. She bought a late bloom. I think she bought the other one, the Dirt Person t-shirt. I have 2 t-shirts. This is the late bloomer t-shirt. I would love for everybody to have one and to wear it into stores or wherever, and have maybe people ask you questions, and maybe you can get them to watch my channel. It would be awesome. And I get a very small commission. That's all handled through Bonfire. So at the very top of this chat, I posted those links, ways to support my channel. And I hope you'll order a t-shirt. But I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Michelle S., because they have this new thing at Bonfire. When you order a t-shirt, you can also send a tip. The tip doesn't go to Bonfire. It goes back to my channel. So Michelle gave me a big tip, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I also just wanted to give a shout out to everyone that's bought t-shirts this year, just very quickly. Anne, Dawn, Claudia B., Judy, Gail, Deborah, Timothy, Marion, Lenore, Katrina, Linda, Scott, and Debbie, Tess, Virginia, and Deborah. And if I've left anybody out, please just leave a comment right now. Okay, so I want to give, yes, and one of those was Scott Head. Be sure and go and check out Scott Head at Black Gumbo's channel. He's got a great teaching. He's a backyard gardener, but he's got a great teaching channel. And he does amazing things in a small urban backyard. And he also bought a t-shirt and he wore it in a video. So that's awesome. I wanted to ask if anybody, thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Shell Bells. Oh, thank you so much. Hello, Mary. Please go back and watch the beginning, okay, Mary? Let's see. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you so much. So sorry, Mary. What did I miss? Let's see. Oh, thank you so much. Urban White Buffalo Farm. Did you give us your name? Because it'd be so much easier just to say, oh, thank you, Sue. Hi, Carl. Oh, boy. Thank you for stopping by. Carl is in Ireland. Yes, Deborah, just decide whether you want a gardener. Actually, I think she's only making Homestead mugs. Yeah. So if you wanted a gardener mug, I would have to initiate another order. Or maybe I could get her to change it. She hasn't actually, these are actually stamped. This is added, this part is added. You can see it's raised. And then she ordered this stamp and she actually stamps that in and then she puts the dark color on it. Okay, thank you, Yvonne. Yvonne has a t-shirt and a mug. That's it. So anyway, I was going to, did I get all of the shout outs? I'm not sure. I've forgotten something. I was going to make a cobbler for the live stream, even though I can't really share it with you. I can just show it to you. But I went in and I didn't have an egg, and you need an egg for the batter. So for the dough. So I was at Daryl's yesterday, one of the main reasons to get eggs, but I got very involved because Daryl was pressure canning his beans. I can't remember the name of those beans, Daryl. I know I've asked you twice. Oh, Shell Bells is growing fruit trees because of me. That's fantastic. Anyway, I was not able to make another cobbler, but I will. And as in terms of cooking videos, though, I know some people really enjoy them, but nobody watches. I get very few views, and it's not worth, working for 15 hours between making it and shooting it, not to mention growing the stuff, and putting up a video, and then you get 2,000 views and 2,300, and that brings about $10 into the coffers. So I don't know anybody that would work for $10, 12 hours for $15 for $10. Anyway, let's see. Where are we? One should, yeah. Well, these trees, I don't know when these trees were planted. At least, I'm in the second year at least, so I don't know. Wow. How many? Krista has canned 18-pint jars of, I'm understanding that it's very hard to find lids because Sharon at Sharon's Natural Gardens, by the way, the basket that I was holding and yesterday's thumbnail, the willow that was used to make that basket was grown by Sharon at Sharon's Natural Gardens. Those are from her willow trees, collected the willow, and she made the basket. And I believe she has some baskets, handmade baskets on her local harvest But you can go to sharonsnaturalgardens.com and you can figure out how to get to where she sells all of her stuff. She has seeds and tinctures and all sorts of things. I'm always giving her a shout out because she's one of our seniors that really knows about medicinal plants and tinctures and biodynamic farming and compost. And oh my gosh, she's got so much. So please check in with her and learn. She's another great, great teacher. Oh, thank you, Claudia. Please share. Nobody's watching that video, and it's just like, it's so frustrating. Let's see. Oh, that's good. That's good. They're very hard to find. Wow. Okay, so I think I'm caught up on comments. By the way, we have 89 who have joined us now. It's 5:22. We've got about 38 minutes left, 90. We've got about half of you have done this, and I would really appreciate it if you just take a 1 second to click off the live chat. If you're on mobile, hit the like button and get back on the live chat. That would really help the analytics. And I see people are doing that. So thank you very much. That really helps. Speaking of YouTube and analytics, maybe this is a good time to talk about, I just was watching Justin Rhodes. I don't know, people have been telling me I need to be on his platform, but I went to, I think the platform or network is Abundance Plus. But I didn't see a lot of other creators on that channel. So maybe you can help me out. I'm not exactly sure if I was thinking that it was a, place where other creators could be a part of it, but I'm not sure. It may be all his content. His content looks beautiful. Wow. Very jealous. Anyway, he has, pushing 1 million subscribers. So, you can afford good cameras and a lot of stuff when you do that and help. Of course, if you're not hiring anybody to help you, then that's more money in your own pocket. And I learned that the hard way because when I started for the first 5 years, I hired people to edit and do the music and everything. And I finally just said, I can't do that. I can't do that anymore. There are trolls, Regina. It's just a fact of life that there are people who like to spread love and kindness and inspiration, like me, and then there are other people who are sad and angry or jealous or something, and it's a subscriber because you would have to, it happens right away. Sometimes it happens before it even goes live. I try never to offend anyone. I work hard at that, but whatever. Thank you, Krista. And Krista is in Australia. Let's see, it's winter there. Well, that's I don't know how to apply for that, Happy. That's my point. I don't know how to ink to deal. That's what I want to do, but when I look at it, I don't see a lot of other channels. So what am I missing? Is it Abundance Plus or is it something else? Because I really want to be a part of it. I think my well, you can join as a member to watch the content, Happy, but you can't join to share your content, right? Very different. So, unless there's something I'm missing, and you have my contact information, so let me know. Let's see. Thank you, Judy. Remind us where you are. Mia Dacus. Thank you so much. Where are you writing from? Petey has, we're talking about Daryl's dog. Petey, we'll be sitting around his house and be quiet. We're having quiet conversation, and Petey will bark, and I will jump out of my skin. It's just, I don't know how to reach out to him personally. I left a comment on one of his videos, but I'm sure, oh yeah, I'm sure that, I'm sure that they are friends. Okay, so if anybody has any further thoughts on that, or if you know Justin, you could give me a shout out. I'd really appreciate it. Let's see. Okay, so I wanted to show you, are you aware that Haas Tools sells seeds? I wasn't. I mean, I'm not that familiar. I've only bought, let's see, I think I've bought, maybe I've only bought one tool from them. I'm not sure now. But anyway, I just got this packet. I ordered some seeds because they have, I'm going to also get some seeds for the big area down there. I'm going to get a cover crop seed. But I thought, they sent out an email this week that said, just a few days ago, that said it's not too late to plant purple hull peas. And these are Mississippi purple hull peas, heirloom. And from the photo, it looks like they're bush beans because, you see how that looks. So, because I don't have any, Daryl takes care of his elderly mother, and he's got that whole big garden, and it's hotter than blazes, so he can't work out there during certain hours. So he doesn't, I requested, but he does not have time until the fall to come and make me the bamboo teepees. So somebody asked for a video on that, and we will do a video on that, but it won't be for a little while. But this looks like bush peas, and that I could, and I'm going to ask Justin to pull up the tarp just about that far. For the rows are supposed to be 3 to 4 feet apart, and just enough to clear 2 rows. I'm going to put 2 rows of peas down there, and just see. It's 65 days, so that puts us about October the 1st, right? Where's my calendar? Yeah, that puts us at October the 1st. So unless something crazy happens, like a frost before then, I think I could make it. And I'm going to try because of everything that I'm seeing online about food shortages and supply line shortages and everything. Everything else I got from them, I ordered a few, just some turnips. I got to say, I don't love turnips, but this is a purple top turnip, which is an heirloom. And then just some more. I have carrots, but the purple carrots have more antioxidant. And so I didn't have any purple carrots. And even though it's very, very late, this is only 50 days to maturity. I can still get some red okra. All I have to do is figure out where. So what I'm hoping is if we pull back the tarp, like maybe 10 feet, I can get 2 rows of peas and a row of okra, and get it planted and kind of mound it up, and then put hay there so the weeds don't come back. And then if it all looks like it's coming up, we'll have to put some kind of deterrent down there to keep off pests. But if you saw my Facebook post this week, I had this great, I saw it on one of the Facebook videos. Sometimes you get just sucked into those, and one right after another. And it was It was this scarecrow that was so scary. Eric saw it. He shared it, I think. Well, Susie, that's interesting. You should say that. And I think that are they a Georgia or Alabama company? But it says on here for the Mississippi purple hull peas, they have a germination rate of only 75%. So I have a feeling I need to double seed it, although that's a big waste, but double seed it and thin it. A bicycle wheel. Oh, well, posted on what? I know my grandmother used to grow purple hull peas. Oh, that's interesting, Lab Cat. I didn't think of that. Thank you, Diane. Well, I don't have half the energy I used to. I mean, back when I was raising kids and running out to auditions and taking them to tennis and taking them to doctor appointments, and oh my gosh, I just felt like I could do it all. I don't feel that way anymore. Of course, our world is a much different world. Judy is in Southeast Louisiana. Okay, so describe what you put your bicycle wheel on, assuming you just put it on flat and then. Oh yes, this red okra, it turns green when you cook it, just like beans do, but it is gorgeous. And Claudia, if you go back to my Kentucky videos, that playlist in Ashland, I did about 4 or 5 videos in Ashland. And if you look at Angie, I don't see her on today, but if you look at Angie's video, you'll see those red. They're like crimson. They're like late bloomer red, but a little bit lighter. And they're delicious. We just ate them raw, right? Just pick them off and eat it. Kristen, thank you so much. I really appreciate you reaching out to him for that. Well, something about his foot. The video that I saw today said something about I think it's something about his foot. He thinks it's getting well and he's in a wheelchair. But hey, he was still working. He was having a big doing a butchering video talking about, YouTube demonetizing videos and stuff. If you do anything like real life on the farm, stuff. So it was an interesting video. That's what I thought. Haas is in Georgia. Thank you, Eric. I thought probably so. I used to follow GF Lawton, but I haven't seen a video in a while. Huh. Krista, many homesteaders on Abundance Plus. And just a random question, not random at all, a specific question are you in a position to be able to afford to buy a membership? I think it's a membership. There are 2 levels of monthly amount. So you wouldn't have any ads and you could watch your favorite channels, including mine. Is this something that you guys would do? I certainly would do that. Oh, what, Happy? The one I saw today with the butchering or the wheelchair? That's what people say, Cherie, but I've never eaten a turnip raw, I don't think. Ooh, that's interesting. Oh my gosh. Okay, thank you for your input, Mr. Tom. I was just wondering about you today. I don't think we've heard from you in a couple of live streams. Um, but don't forget, it's not just Justin's income. I mean, he couldn't have creators on there if they weren't sharing in that. You know, we wouldn't be giving him our content and then he gets all the money. That wouldn't make any sense. So he's been doing it for 3 years. Gosh, somebody just only told me about it recently. Anyway, like I said, I'm back to planting. I'm late in the game on planting, but I'm thinking that, you know, I can't rest. I would like to rest. I would very much like to rest. I have actually been resting more. This past week, Justin's been doing most of the work, and he made a comment. He said, "You haven't had the camera out here like in I don't know when." So yeah, it's been like 2 weeks because I got this feedback from a fan, and it's actually an old friend of mine, and she said that Mary said that she'd rather see the kind of videos I just put up yesterday than the working videos with the music and all that. And so, you know, if that's what people are more interested in, they're certainly a lot easier to make, take a lot less time. I didn't even put any music in that. So, you know, selecting music, putting it in at the right time, getting the level, the audio levels correct and everything. You know, it's just, it takes a lot less time if you don't put music in. So I know that I'm one of the few people that was actually trying to make films, you know, with music and all of that. But I want to make what people want to watch because obviously I want to try to get more subscribers. And let's see. I think Regina is saying that she is subscribing to your channel, Mr. Tom. Let's see. Interesting. Well, maybe raw turnips are better than cooked. Yes, I just dumped Hulu and I put Netflix on hold because I'm not using it. So we call purple hull peas are the same as Crowder peas? Because I always heard Crowder peas. Well, I don't think that people would go exclusively. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you guys know. I'm sure channels are going to stay on YouTube as long as YouTube still functions, you know. It's just that over there you're inside a place where you can see them all and not have to deal with ads. A lot of people complain about ads. Well, ads are the only way we make any money, you know, so. Oh my goodness. Oh, well, thank you for updating me on that. Yes. I remember Mr. Tom talking about losing his beautiful cat. Oh, Sharon, please go back and watch the beginning or the first 40 minutes. Only 87, 91 of you today. If you could hit the like button, I would really appreciate it. We don't have that many people today. Interesting. Raw turnips or cooked turnips, Debbie? Well, Cherie is talking about a shortage. There's just going to be a shortage of everything. Thank you, Sharon. I don't know. I just want to make sure that all of you guys are aware of what's going on. I mean, I'm sure you are if you're watching YouTube. It's all over YouTube. There are extreme weather events all over the world. There's no doubt that this is going to affect the delivery of food. I saw a video yesterday that talked about they need 135,000 drivers just to drive the trucks to deliver stuff. They're that low on drivers. So this is going to affect food supplies, and a lot of people are stocking up. And so you don't want to be left behind and not be prepared. I mean, even if it doesn't get disrupted, it's better to be prepared. What is it? What they always say? Oh, it's better to be prepared. No, there's a better expression. What is it? You guys know. I thought of it earlier today. I was going to say it. That's the thing is, Regina, when I started gardening, a lot of people said, put pantyhose over the squash and zucchini. But I'm going, who has pantyhose? Am I going to go buy a pair of pantyhose? I mean, I don't even think I have any. I don't know what you're talking about, Haffy, but he's working on a lot of stuff. Yes, Krista. Have you seen food shortages in Australia? Yes, Kristen. Maybe if I move back, you can see. I don't know why I look over there, I can see through that perfectly, but you can't. So yes, he put a flake of hay in every spot on that whole 20 by 30. Is that what it was? 20? No, it was 32 by 40. Except for the corn. I was going to ask. I mean, I've had some problem with my corn. I think I mentioned this. I take full responsibility because my corn farmer friend had recommended this particular peppermint oil that he was spraying around his beds and having good luck this year keeping the critters off, I guess the mammals. And it also works for insects, it says. And so I didn't go over there. I was over there and I just said, please spray around the side garden. And I know it's my fault because I wasn't clear. But Tim, the corn farmer, has told me, if he's told me once, he's told me like a dozen times, you can't spray corn, it'll kill it. And he went down, we couldn't figure out why it was failing to thrive. There's one row that is like over knee high. It looks so great. And the rest of it is stunted and yellowish with little brown edges. And so there's no way it's going to make corn ears. So he goes, well, gosh, I actually went down the rows and sprayed. And I went, oh, that was it. So he reseeded it. And that was about 5 days, or maybe it was the end of last week. What is today? Today's Sunday. Yeah, I can't keep the day straight because I didn't go see my mother today. My leg is still really bothering me. It hurts to sit. It's 3 hours sitting in the car. And so I didn't go today. But I don't have any hay in between the rows of the corn because I still have to eliminate. As soon as I see that the new corn that's about that tall is going to really come up, I'm going to just go through and clip the stunted corn. That's my plan. So far that has not gotten any hay over there. And I know corn is a heavy feeder. He put another dressing of compost down each row beside the plants, and weeded everything over there. And then the rest of it is completely covered with hay. So he probably went through half of that hay already. Because there's probably only about 5 flakes. I don't know if you're aware, but in a hay bale, they compress it into pieces. It's like about that thick, and those pieces are put together and baled together. I don't know how they do it. I'm sure you guys do know. But he took each flake and just laid it down like a puzzle, the whole thing. So it's got that hard surface to compress weeds. Yes, Connie, it's absolutely terrible what's happening. Kelly, yes, I do very much. And I just don't know. We have to see what's going to happen in the world, before I think about getting back to that. I think you're talking about supplies in general, Daryl. That's true, to be prepared. Yes, and I saw, it might have been in the same video, and it was a farmer. This is from experience, so you're getting it secondhand, but you may have seen the video too. He was cutting down with a lawnmower his crop. And he said the government had, and he had an American accent, so he said the government had ordered farmers to destroy their crops. And that if they didn't do it, then their fields would be sprayed with Agent Orange or something horrible. And they would be given X number of dollars per acre. And that makes no sense to me at all. But anyway. Well, vintage stockings, I wouldn't want to put on a squash or a watermelon. I had some vintage stockings back in the day, I may still have them up there. Because, when you do plays and things, you go in and you very often you do a play that was set in the old days. And I have the gloves and the hats and the shoes and the vintage bags and vintage pins and all of that stuff, just on the case that you're doing a play that you need all that. And at some point I go, why am I keeping, no, it wasn't at some point. It was when I had to move out of my house and I had the estate sale, and I'm going, why am I keeping all these shoes that hurt my feet? So they all got given away. Yes, I can just imagine that. And so Krista's saying meat prices have gone through the roof and some items are already getting sparse. So I don't think it's a bad idea to really stock up everybody. Okay, Edwin, I don't think I got that one, but I'll check. I honestly, speaking about email, I wanted to give a shout out to someone who offered, and she wrote me, and I was searching for the email before the live stream, couldn't find it. So I wanted to give her name a shout out, but she's in Tennessee somewhere, and she offered to come and help me organize for a day. And God knows I need help because this never gets touched. I just walk, I'm sort of like I had this neighbor who was a hoarder, and he never changed anything. It was just piled, everything was stacked high everywhere. And this is the same, it's like, it's so embarrassing, but this is real life. This is the way it is. This is the way my life is right now. I am focused on trying to grow food, not just for myself, for my sons, if they need it, and possibly other people. A great thing would be to be able to barter for things that I might need, barter some food or sell some food. If who knows what's going to happen to the financial. I mean, it's incredible. We're in extraordinary times. Thank you, Idaho Hoosier. Idaho, I was just looking, I just sent this to, are you in Boise by any chance? Guess what? Do you remember, everybody that's followed me for a long time, I went down to Orange County and I made at least two videos down there. It was I haven't heard from her hardly since then. I don't understand why I go to the trouble to, we're going to run like 10 minutes late because I haven't even talked about what this great idea that Denise had yesterday. So don't let me forget. But, I went down to Orange County and I did the gal that had the hillside. She had made a hillside garden where she had 400 tomato plants and a lot of other stuff too. Onions and shallots and squash and melons. She had a lot of other stuff, but predominantly tomatoes. And then I went over to Patrick's, who is the parents of a friend of my son. And I spent the night with them, and it was and they had a beautiful pool. And we did a video and I helped him revamp his raised bed. I don't know if you remember that video. Anyway, those guys, I just heard from them yesterday. They called, I haven't talked to them in a year. They didn't know, what my situation was or anything. Meanwhile, they sold from Orange County and moved to Idaho. That's why I'm getting back to Idaho Hoosier. So they're in Eagle, which is not far, I understand, from Boise. And, I've got a place to stay if I go up and see my son. So I can't figure out how that's going to happen with all that's going on. I don't even want to travel. But so I went on the, one of the weather apps and just looked at the fires. Oh my gosh, the fires up there. It's worse in British Columbia, but it starts and it goes up and it goes all the way across, and it includes Idaho and, oh my gosh, Montana, and then everybody else is going to suffer, and as well because of the air quality. The air quality has been horrible this week, and I have gotten a number of alerts. So yes, China's buying up our farmland because they've got to feed billions of people. And I guess you can't, if China comes in and says, I'll give you 3 times what your land is worth, and it's an old farm, we have a lot of older ranchers. Their kids don't want to ranch or farm, but they want the money. And so they take it, because it's 3 times of what it's going for. And Bill Gates is, I think he's the largest landowner in our country now. So it's, anyway, to answer your question, Shell Bells, it's because they want our farmland to feed their people. Pretty simple. Giving 40 hens away and 3 rabbits this week. Giving them away, Cherie, that's awesome. Oh, because it's so expensive. $11 per 50 pounds to $16.50 in the last 2 weeks. Corn went up by $2. Can't feed them. That's a big subject. It's like, everybody said, are you going to get chickens? In a perfect world, yes, I have chickens and rabbits and a dog. Everybody says I should have dog for security, and it's just another mouth to feed. And I've got 4 cats out there, and I'm just going, what have I done? I mean, I love them so much, and they love each other, and I just can't bear to split them up. And but yet I can't really go out and just love all over them because the poison ivy thing. So they get down and roll around in it. They don't go, oh, mommy's allergic to poison ivy. Let me roll over here in the fescue. They just play wherever they play, And So anyway, I'm concerned about taking on more mouths to feed. Although, I would really like to get some some meat animals so that I had a source of good, clean meat, because who knows? I mean, I just don't know. I mean, Smithfield pork products, I'm pretty sure I'm right about this, is all China, so China owns AMC theaters. I mean, they're just like, if we don't just wake up and just go, wait a minute, we're losing it here. We're going to be losing our freedoms if we don't watch out. That's right, Linda. Well, Connie, you will have to, Connie is saying it would be fun to see me in vintage attire. You can see me in a few of vintage attire on my website at kayekittrell.com. Go to acting and then photos. And I have this fabulous vintage Art Deco, the 20s era black dress. Of course, I weighed at least 20 pounds less than I do now. So I look like this little slip, but speaking of clothes, I'm trying to figure out what to wear to the wedding. I've got to go to Montana to a wedding in September. So that's my son's wedding. And, I hate shopping. So clothes shopping, hate clothes shopping with a passion. I could shop in a nursery all day long. Clothes shopping, trying on clothes, being in the dressing room and being unclothed and waiting for someone to go and get you the next size or the next size down. It's just like that. That's just like not my favorite thing to do at all. It is true, Mary. They are being told to destroy their crops. I don't know. I saw a video yesterday. It was I don't know. I watched so many videos. I couldn't possibly, it's easy to search, I'm sure, Eric. Let's see. Howdy from Texas, whispers from the dark. How are you? And what's your name? And do you have a garden? And what's your situation? Yeah. Deborah says it's real life during the growing season. Speaking of the growing season, I just assumed there would be only one. I didn't really think about there being a fall season here. And so Daryl's got all this stuff ready to, not quite ready, but, started. His are this tall. And so when he told me he had already started his, like I started mine probably a week and a half after that. And so I've already got, as you know, I've got cabbages, arugula, and what was the other, peppercress coming up. And then he gave me some bok choy seeds yesterday. So anyway, you have to look forward, and I want to get to that thing, and then I'm going to sign off. But so what you have to look forward to, the next video is going to be, I did a sort of prepper type video back in February or March when I was stocking up on canning supplies. And so I have a lot of lids and jars and all of that, and I hope that I have enough produce to actually fill them up. Someone suggested I can go, to a farm stand and just say, when you harvest next time, I'll take a bushel of whatever. That's possible too. I could do that. But I bought a pressure canner from Denise because she had an extra one. So it's not as big as Daryl's pressure canner, but he took us through start to finish how to pressure can beans yesterday. So I'm probably going to get that up. I hope to have it up tomorrow, but it may be Tuesday. It just depends. And so the last thing I want to talk about is Denise had this great idea. because I have been wanting, 110 of you are here. If you're here for the first time, thank you. Thank you for joining. I am an empty nester, and I am starting the homestead life in Tennessee, which I have wanted to do for a long time, ever since I went out to visit Doug and STACY in 2018. And they go, "You can do this, Kaye." You know, Doug, he goes, "You can do this. You can do this. If you want to do this, we can do this." You know, and I thought, okay, if I have a piece of property right beside him, I would do it. But nothing came available when I was looking, and I thought, well, I need to be closer to my family. So anyway, I'm here, and I am on the grid, but I am trying to work it so that I have a sustainable homestead. I'm working on my water. The cistern has been repaired. It's not full, but because we're using a lot of water, it's been so hot. But it seems to be holding. We'll see if it gets really high, if we have any more leaks. I don't know. I'm working on getting a woodshed for all my firewood. I've got a lot of firewood. I've got enough firewood for it. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't know exactly if I have enough for a whole. I don't have enough firewood if that's all I was heating with. There's no way. I'd need a lot more. But we'll see what happens with the grid. I'd like to be able to survive off grid here if I can do everything that I need to do. So welcome to my channel. I hope you subscribe. The challenges, the struggle is real. I have been through a lot of challenges, from poison ivy, tick bites, and burning my leg, which is healing, I think. And that's not all. So you'll find out if you watch my channel. Let's see. Daryl's making a point that, anybody who can be growing food should be growing food, because there are a lot of people that are not in a position. They're elderly, not in a position. They're completely reliant on supermarket food. And those shelves could be empty from all that I'm seeing. So, oh, that's awesome, Eric. He's part of a labor barter. Bartering is great. I need to. Hot but conservatively strong. Smoky, hot but conservatively strong. Okay, I'm not sure what that means, but anyway, let's see. Okay. Everybody has got. That's just it, Connie. It could be cold and it could be hot, and the wedding is outside. Hopefully it won't be smoky. They have been planning this for such a long time, and I really hope that it all comes off without a hitch. Right, Jennifer. Thank you, Connie. Yes, Kristen. I still got to come up with that chicken food. If I do get chickens, I got to have the chicken food. Wow, that's fantastic. I did arrange with my realtor, who has they grow beef on her farm, and I can get a half of a beef cow in November. So I have ordered a freezer, and that's coming on the 3rd. But it's not grass finished, and so the feed is not GMO. But I don't know if the feed was sprayed. So I have to figure all of that out. But I am looking into all of that. Yes, shell bells, that's obvious. Why else would you ask people to stay home and not work? Regina, I was thinking of that. Well, let me just premiere the dress that I was thinking of, okay? You can tell me what you think. It is a, hold on. I can't sit down, but I'm so stiff from standing up too. Okay, so this was my mother's dress. It is an Oscar de la Renta boutique, so it's not couture. It is silk organza sleeves embroidered with a fitted bodice and a lined top and bottom. Now, the only problem is right here. Getting into that. I've measured, that's 14 inches across. Times 2 is 28. So I need to lose 10 pounds in order to get into this dress. But I think losing 10 pounds would be easier than trying to go out and find something really special. And a vintage dress is so special. My son is wearing a blue suit, so I can just imagine she'll be in white, and I can just imagine the three of us together in a picture. That would be perfect. Now, if we're outside and it's cold, then I'll be freezing. And I have this fabulous coat, but it's a different era. I think this is from the 70s, and the coat is from the 60s. My mother made this coat. It's to die for. My mother was a huge fan of Jackie Kennedy, and this is very Jackie Kennedy. This is a wool coat lined in rayon. And look at the detail. I don't know if you can see it. The darts and this is stitching is like, you could have a pocket in there, but she didn't put one in. And it's a slope shoulder with an empire waist, and it's so 60s with a elbow length sleeve. It's fabulous. It looks fabulous on me. I would need to wear long gloves, and of course a perfect 60s pump. And what to go underneath it? That's the question. So those are the options that I have sitting here. Okay, we're talking about pests. Oh, that's great, Cherie. That's great. You're doing all that. Yes, I know, and I'm going to right now. Denise's great idea. Isn't that amazing, Mary? I mean, my mother made the most beautiful clothes, and I only have, well, I'm trying to think if that's the only thing I have that she actually made. She had a white suit from the same period. It was you could absolutely see Jackie Kennedy walking down out of the White House in that thing. Yes. I don't have a cream shawl. I could get one. Mei Ling is here. Hey. Yeah, the only thing about wearing the coat is then you're stuck with the coat on, when because we're outside, they usher me in. Walker's going to walk me down the aisle. I think you're right. I mean, if I don't wear the red coat there, where would I ever wear it? I'm never going to go anywhere. So this is the last dress up occasion I'll probably have. Who knows? Okay, Cherie is going. Okay, so very quickly, Denise had a great idea yesterday, and she's going to start it off. You know how I always love going and seeing my fans' gardens in person. Well, that's just not possible now because of the state of the world, the state of travel. Who knows what's going to happen? And so I can't do that. But I would love to share those gardens with my audience. So I am calling for people who are interested in sharing their gardens to send me clips. You can wait and see Denise's, how Denise does it to get an idea. Of course, you would need to shoot it on a high resolution smartphone or camera, and you would have to shoot it horizontal. And as I've mentioned many times, if you're not an experienced shooter, when you shoot, don't think because you can see something over here and you can see it over there that our eye can follow that fast. It has to be slow. It has to be literally that slow if you're panning, and it has to be completely level. What you don't want to do is give people whiplash with your clips. So if you're panning across your garden, it's got to be very slow so our eye can actually see. Anyway, if you're interested in doing something like that, there are a number of people who follow me regularly that I would love to share their gardens, especially Tracy, who I don't think made it on tonight. Tracy in Pennsylvania, she's got a family farm, and I would love to see her garden. And oh yes, I have wonderful I have wonderful. Did you, Dottie, did you? I didn't know you did. Yeah, I've certainly thought about that. Oh yeah, I made a big banana bread, and Justin loved it. I sort of treat him with breakfast most days, about late breakfast be about time when he would be really hot and sweaty, and I usually make up something. Let's see. So if you're interested in doing that, send me an email through my contact page on my website. So it's latebloomershow.com/contact. And just say, I'm interested in doing that. You don't even have to be on camera. I know some people are camera shy, like Tracy. She freezes on camera. So it's not about you, or you don't have to put on makeup. You just say, here's my garden. I'm Susie in Alabama, and I want to show you my garden. And, it'll take some close-ups and a pan across and a wide shot, just like you would see in a movie. You see a wide shot, then you know where you are. Oh, that's what the garden looks like. And then you go in for close-ups, and then the pan shot. Just use different shots like you would see in a movie. And then I can, once you let me know that you want to send that, I can tell you how to send it to me, because I would want the high resolution. So if you're interested in doing that, there'd be a great way that I could share late bloomer fan gardens without me having to come to you and shoot it myself. So 120 of you are here, managed to get up to 120 before we're signing off. We're running late today. Be sure and hit the like button on the way out if you appreciate what we do. I hope you subscribe and share with your friends. And everybody stay safe. God bless you, and have a great week.